Hebrew? Oh, Hebrew.
What happened, mate?
Pardon?
What's going on?
I'm just waiting for a mate.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
With my scooter outside the dairy, next minute.
Flamin' mongrel, flamin' drug dealer, flamin' menace, flamin' bargain.
The Antipodean
Poddy. Bonjour, Aussies and Kiwis in London, or bonsoir, depending on where you're listening in the world. We're back, Jimmy, Baz, and Jed, back with the Antipodean podcast. And today we've got a special guest, the Godfather of Kiwis in London, Clint Heine. Welcome to the show, mate.
Hey, mate.
Before we kind of get into the questions for Clint, boys, what's been happening since the last episode?
You first?
Well, I mean, I used the NHS this week.
That's exciting.
Yeah. I had to go to the dentist, and I was actually speaking to my mum, and I cracked my tooth on on Wednesday, and by Thursday I was able to get an appointment fixed.
So all this stuff about the NHS, you're thinking it's gone?
Mate, I've always said I actually don't mind the NHS.
Yeah, I honestly think it's good. I mean, obviously it's stretched, but it is. I think it is a good.
My mum, I grew up with my mum working in hospitals, so
yeah.
Like I understand the stress. And honestly, like you can go to so last time my mum and auntie and uncle were over here, my mum actually had some heart problems and spent a couple of days in hospital. And you can go and sit in a NHS hospital over here for 12 hours, yes.
Yeah.
But if there's something wrong with you, you're going to get seen.
I mean, the alternative is living in the US where you don't get, kind of healthcare. So, I think we're very lucky to have that kind of universal healthcare in the UK and Australia. And it's not always perfect, but, I'm happy to pay into the pot so people can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Jimmy, how about you, mate? Anything more exciting than using the NHS?
I don't think so. We do a weekly pool comp, and I lost for the first time.
I saw that. Yeah.
Shocking.
But not regulation pockets. You said.
Not regulation. I think someone actually put a bit of helium in the pockets themselves. I think there was a bit of
the pockets or the balls?
In the pockets because it lifts the balls out of the pocket.
The balls float back out.
Yeah, the balls are floating.
When you played as much sport as me and Jack.
I think as I said, it's a bit like uncalibrated punch machines, isn't it? It's like, and look, since the last episode, I have diored. So just so you know,
he's actually bought his own machine at home.
and the equation is Jimmy. Power is the product of force and velocity. So the machines don't measure.
Who cares?
Power.
You lost on that day.
That's all that matters. We're all clear, mate.
But that's fine because I remember from the other podcast, I didn't say the power formula. I said force, didn't I?
There was lots of big words going around.
Lots of $10 words being thrown. Yeah.
I sort of went, I passed my life in the UK test. That's what
You heard acceleration and you were like, I feel like I've done that once or twice.
So
long time ago.
I mean, I've been doing a lot of work travel lately. Paris, Rotterdam, Prague. It sounds exciting, but work travel is very much romanticized. It's it's more a hassle than anything, especially when you've got a family at home. So that's been kind of taking up my time. But one of the things I wanted to ask you guys is now that we've launched a couple of episodes, what do you think of your performance so far? Is there anything that you watch back or you listen to and you think, oh God, I wish I didn't do that?
The first time it's interesting because obviously I don't know if you know guys, these things pick up everything, and so when you're having a normal conversation with someone, you're telling a story and you're like, and normally you're going, oh yeah.
I think we're all guilty of that
one. Point in case.
Yeah.
So there was that, and then I sort of felt. You ever seen Talladega Nights?
Of course.
Where he's in the thing. He's like clutching the. I don't know what to do with my hair. And I'm sort of. I had to get used to the levels of the microphone and all that, and realize you got to speak a bit clearly because you feel like you need a whisperer sometimes, but you just want to get it all out. What about you, Baz?
Yeah, I mean a lot of the same stuff, but I was thinking more about my performance. So I was thinking like, if I was going to sort of put it in footy terms, you know, when you get the coaches award, means that you basically turned up. You haven't provided much. You've been there in spirit.
Most improved.
Most improved. I mean,
I won one of those ones. Yeah.
I mean, you may as well get that trophy and throw it in the river.
Yeah, we used to have an encouragement award.
You know what actually annoys me? Like, I'm not an athlete in any way, shape, or form. And I remember when my first girlfriend, proper girlfriend, I took home, and my mum still had my good try awards on the back of my door and a court being good award. I'm like, I'm a grown man.
Hey, your mum's proud. She's proud of it.
Performance there.
I think for me, you know, I was listening to one of the episodes in the car, and I had to turn the bass right down because I had full volume and I couldn't make out what I was saying. So obviously I've got quite a deep voice, and when I try to talk softly, it starts to crack, and then I'm constantly trying to clear my throat. And that's the one thing that I've picked up about myself that I spot it every time. So hopefully today, not much throat clearing required. I'm gonna try and speak nice and clearly for everyone.
Your voice is pretty deep right now, bro. So just keep it going.
It doesn't sound.
What's that scene from Marvel when they meet Thor for the first time, and then Chris Pratt starts going like deepening his voice?
Yeah.
So me and you will start getting progressively deeper.
Yeah.
Try and match the opposite.
I mean,
it's
just one of the challenges of having such a masculine voice, Jimmy. I mean, you wouldn't know anything about that, but
me and Jimmy know nothing about that.
Yeah. People like an effeminate touch from time to time. You know, look at Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah. I mean, that's 1 out of 20 billion.
Talking about helium balls again. Anyway,
I don't know how many people
in one of the episodes, you threw out a number. I think it was about COVID, and it was wildly incorrect.
It was 100,000. I remember thinking at the time, do I go with this or do I just keep?
Yeah, mate, you got to be careful with the numbers. Maybe just say a lot next time.
We had before we jump on to new things. Just speak of the population. The best banter I've ever had from a student, a year 8 student in my old school, and she comes in and she goes, "Sarah, have you got a girlfriend?" I'm like, "No." And she goes, "Well, I've got a boyfriend." And I'm going, "Well, I don't care." And I was teaching about the human population explosion. And I've got this graph going through the centuries, and I go, going through it all this, from the 1900s, 3 billion, and I go, we're now at the point where we're at nearly 8 billion people. And guess who pipes up? And they just go, 8 billion people, you still can't get a girlfriend. In my class, if it's good chat, no worries at all. I'm in tears laughing. I repeat it for people in the back who didn't hear it. It's quality. And she's like, "Oh, sir, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "That's fantastic. Deserves every bit." And then some kid pipes up, like a Kyle or someone pipes up. And I go, "Shut up, you got a detention." He goes, "Well, how come she can say that?" Like, because that's good chat. That's hilarious. Yeah.
All right. Well, look, we better get on track. So, it's pretty exciting tonight. We've finally got some, authentic Kiwi representation.
I watched the first episode. I want to just kind of.
Yeah, I think
bone to pick with you there, Baz.
I think
Did you not see the second one? Talked about Kiwi passport.
Yeah, look, I think
the third one.
I think the most Kiwi thing on this show up until today has been my right bicep with that tribal tattoo on it. Probably more eligible for a passport than you are, Baz. But Baz, I'll hand. Obviously you've known Clint for quite a while, so I'll hand over to you, mate.
Yeah, I think, and Clint can say if I'm wrong, but like when I moved here, Clint. I mean, he still is the king of the Kiwis, and I think that's probably the best way to put it. Like, Clint was the person that started the Kiwis in London, and for anyone that's lived in the UK, and I'm talking about my cousins that were here before me, and myself, and the people to come. It's such a home away from home when you're talking about if you've got issues, problems, and a lot of the reasons that we've started this podcast are based around some of the things that Clint started the Kiwis in London page for, I imagine. So I'm pretty sure we met the first year I was here, and we were talking about the fact that Clint gave me it used to be a Kiwis in London card. It meant you could go to Belushi's, the Chatty, rest in peace. You could go to a range of different places where you could just get up to all kinds of business, get 250 pints, and you just have a hell of a time.
So if you're talking about the Mount Rushmore of Kiwis in London, is Clint in the conversation, you reckon?
I mean, no.
Is he in the goat conversation?
I mean, he's first on the mountain.
First on the
first on the mountain.
There you go. We got Kiwis in London royalty here tonight, which is great. So, do you want to kind of?
Yeah, I suppose Clint, one of the things that we were talking about before you came on was like, where did your journey start? Like, we obviously have spoken about our journeys, and I'd be really interested in see why you came to London. What was the reason you came to London? Like,
Yeah, bro. I mean, I was bored. I was bored in New Zealand. I left university. I left Otago University, which is like a work hard, play hard kind of university, and I was on it quite a lot, lashed, just pissed all the time. And moved to Wellington, and I felt a bit alien in Wellington. They're a bit more sensible up there, and didn't really kind of suit my non-sensible ideals. I turned up to work with big chopping sideburns and ripped clothes, and I worked in a bank. So it really didn't really fit in so well. And I remember my boss saying to me one day, bro, you know, what do you do in the weekends? And I was like, well, I go to this bar. And she said, that bar's full of underage girls and cheap alcohol. And I'm like, yeah, you could have answered my question. That's why I go there. Wait, should have said underage there. under 21. Editing machine, move on.
should we do that again? Do that again.
Sorry,
Well, I'm cancelling myself here. So underage, under 21, I should say anyway. And I was, and I didn't really fit in Wellington. It didn't work out for me. And so when someone said to me, "Let's go," I'm not going to live this down now, am I?
The Supermax prison wouldn't have.
He's feeling the heat, so he got out. FBI on.
So,
Yeah, it should.
Lucky they don't have that beanie on.
We shouldn't have dished out the bling, obviously.
damn.
Oh man,
No,
right.
so yeah, the opportunity came for me to kind of leave the country. The hole gets deeper and deeper, but still.
Baz just doesn't know what to do.
I'm just hating. By the way, we had a chat with Clint, and he said, "I've been on radio before on the BBC. It's fine. I'll keep it."
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
So
Not sweating over
So
there.
I
mate.
guess
not
after hitting
enjoying
the road for a while, I ended up in London. I didn't want to be in London. You know, I kind of got to London and thought, nah. Found myself in the classic Redback and Acton first day. And it just reminded me of being at university. And I was like, this is bloody good vibes, you know. So I stuck around, and it was 2003 when I arrived, and 2025 now. So something worked out.
decades.
100%.
So when you first got here, where were you living?
Southfields, all the South Africans.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently, Southfields, by the way, outside of South Africa, has one of the biggest contingents of South Africans in the globe. Pretty much.
Yeah.
The second one.
Really?
Yeah, there's so many down there at the Wandle.
The
Another good establishment.
Yeah.
Lekker establishment.
yeah. So
have you had much to do with, like, I know we follow them, the Bra or something. There's an
Bria Army.
Bria Army, that's it.
Your.
Do you have much to do? Have you
No.
ever hosted events with them?
No, it's a strange one. I don't know why we get lumped in with the Saffers, the Kiwis and the Aussies, but they kind of lump us all in together. And
Southern Hemisphere.
they're a bit of a different breed, and I mean that in the nicest way. They kind of keep to
I
themselves.
think it's just because
and-
we're all good at rugby. Good rugby.
I like how you kind of conclude yourself. You're like, we're all good at rugby.
It's born with it, you know. Just born with it.
I almost believed him.
Okay, so like with the one of the questions I want to ask, and actually I will take notes here, Baz, but Kia ora. It's the first thing I'd probably say to you there, Clint. That's how you say welcome in New Zealand.
G'day, mate, to Bazza. G'day, mate.
Did I pronounce that right? I practice that in the mirror quite sometimes. But you, so you were in London from 2013? Correct?
2003, I left.
2003.
Yeah.
I was
sorry, you're
10 years
2013.
off, but you're right. Yeah.
So, exactly. I did my research, obviously. But then, so you've gone through sort of why you wanted to move over here and all that. And then one of the biggest things for me, because I came here at the end of 2020, we may as well say start 2020. But how much when you come back to London, because you live in Poland now as an authentic sort of thing.
Half and half, mate. Half
we
and
can
half.
say.
London and Poland.
Yeah.
Not for tax purposes.
But Every time you come back, do you find that London's changed a
Yeah,
bit?
absolutely. It's changed a lot since I arrived, and I was just reading the news the other day, and I see a bus about, they've just like changed all their big coaches.
Yes.
It used to be like 40, 50 in a coach, and they used to go around Europe and do their thing. And now they've cut it down to like bespoke kind of bus tours for 18 people, and a minimum age has gone down, or the maximum age has gone down. So it's just the vibe of the people that come over now has changed so much. They don't want that big group session in the bunk rooms. They all want to kind of have private rooms and whatnot, and bespoke experiences in Europe, as they call it. Whereas, so the people coming over are different, and that's the biggest change for me, because I'm so immersed in the Kiwi Oz community.
But I think also, people these days, you've got everything at your fingertips. Like when you moved here, there were no smartphones, so it's a lot easier to curate your own, holiday or trip. Rather than having to pay someone to do it for you. So that's probably a big difference as well.
Yeah, we had like one or two websites to go through. And the A to Z, that bloody A to Z book, you'd go through and find a street on page 74, and it's a tiny little narrow, 1 millimeter of a street to try and find it. There was no like smart maps or anything.
Yeah, like I remember going to Moscow in 2007, first time I'd ever left Australia, and I had my little Lonely Planet book with,
God,
with translation.
Oh, yep.
And I was trying to find an internet cafe, and I go up to this bloke at the rugby club I was at, and I'm like, do you know where the internet cafe is? And he's just looking at me like I'm talking another language, because I was talking English. And
you've crunched the numbers.
And so I pull out my Lonely Planet, and I look up internet cafe, and it's exactly the same, except I think the A in cafe was like a Batman symbol or something, some random symbol. Then I hold it up, and he goes, "Oh, internet cafe." And I'm like, that's the one, mate. So we've come along. We've come a long way in those kind of 10 to 15 years.
Well, I'd love to touch on as well, because obviously myself and Zave do the Aussie in London, with support from others as well. But you do the Kiwis in London. And you talk about how much London's changed. And when I first started doing events at university, we saw such a rapid shift. Even when I was in the uni for 4 or 5 years, and even in the events that we did there, we really had to change for the demographics coming through. And we had to, even at that time, about 2018, the amount of people that wanted to go out and the drinking culture had changed. It was more about prioritization of health and fitness and everything. But over that time, you would have seen such a change in the cultural shift, but also your events as well, and the clientele that you have to align yourself with, really, surely.
Yeah, it is like that. In the early days of Kiwis London, it was easy. You just kind of put cheap drinks in, and everyone would come, 400 every month. And they'll just they'll just go crazy, and the bar would come back to me and say, "Hey, well, we just sold like about 40 bottles of Jägermeister that night and 600 snake bites." And I'm like, classic night out, Now we're getting like about 200 max. And, they're a bit more kind of conscious of their behavior, unlike me.
I know we've talked about COVID a fair bit in the first few episodes, but to me, like, because we had that kind of vortex, those lost years, that's where I found there was a real cultural shift. And I was kind of like, man, like, what's happened? Like, I used to know what it was, but now I don't anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
it's changed so much.
Yeah.
It really has.
I think really what you were saying, like the idea of people going out. I mean, not there's anything wrong with going out and being healthy, but like when I first moved here, it was about traveling every weekend you could.
Yeah.
If you weren't traveling, you were going out with your mates every weekend. You were only working to fund the lifestyle because you're only here for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
So there was no use in really investing in anything else. But now maybe with the 3 years, and as soon as people can now get visas easy. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but you can work your way around it or whatever. Or people get sponsored maybe easier. I don't know what the deal is.
It's a little easier now, but it is, and they've also raised the maximum age as well for the 3 visas just to 35.
Oh, true.
Of course. Yeah.
And so there's a bit more responsible people coming over, people with money in their back pockets and higher expectations, But they're also quite cheap. Like they'll be on the page going, "Oh, I'm really broke. I can't afford to do this." And next post is like, "Hey, has anyone got a cleaner for my flat?" I'm like, "Bro."
Well, I see people sometimes post on, Kiwis London, Aussies London. and they just go, hey guys, I feel like it's just trying to flex, and they go, "Oh, is £55,000 enough to live on in London?" I'm going, you mother.
And the worst thing is, someone will respond and go, "No, you need to leave at least 100,000." And I'm like, and they're serious. They're dead serious.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
come on.
remember there was one. I can't remember his name, but it went pretty crazy in Aussies in London, where a bloke's like
This is years back now,
46,000. I remember.
46K to
Yeah.
and like
It was like Antonio or something.
yeah,
like that,
it was some kind of Spanish name, and obviously you got to remember like the minimum wage is kind of like, or the working wage is like 15 grand a year or something like, and so when you get those kind of questions, and there are people who are kind of working on those lower wages, and they're just like, "Are you serious? Like I'm getting by, and I'm traveling, and you're earning triple what I make," and you're wondering. I guess it really just comes down to money management and what what you want to prioritize in life. Like,
well,
as
yeah,
you said,
absolutely.
some people want to prioritize a cleaner, other people want to prioritize going to Oktoberfest for the weekend.
I mean, that would always be.
Yeah.
yeah. If we raise our hands around the table.
And I guess my expectations were different as well, because I came from a pretty, poor background, and at university I was eating flour and water to sustain my drinking habits.
What does that kind combine to make? Some kind of sludge?
It makes like a damper bread.
Dough, yeah.
You put it in the oven. It's a hard kind of crunchy bread.
Okay, at least you're cooking it before you eat.
And then when I came to London, I've never earned that much money in London, so I was just like, for the first few years, almost I was living like that with a bit of flour and water and maybe some flavorings and
a bit of salt in there, is it?
Man, it's a luxury for we talking about this economy. Next is going to say. Next, you're going to ask for eggs.
What was because even when I was listening back to one of our the previous episode, I think it was with Nicole. So obviously it was cheaper back in London. But the salaries, was there a considerable difference between the salaries back then? And
I think so.
Mate, well, it's funny you say that, because I'm kind of doing some interviews at the moment. I was talking to a recruiter today, and I kind of said like the wages haven't really moved in 10 years for the roles that I'm recruiting. Like, they have a little bit, but not a huge amount. And I think, especially in the UK, the wages that do go up are your doctors, your bankers, your lawyers, the people who don't really need more money. So, and I think that's why there's a cost of living crisis, because all the prices of stuff is going up, but those kind of entry level or mid level roles, the salary stayed the same. If you look at Europe, I'm getting CVs for the same roles, and they're asking for 20, 30K more. So it's very, very, very different. I think I think one of the things with Brexit, everyone thought that it was going to be a good thing. But then, there's obviously less competition for roles, and then, people kind of like, I don't have to pay as much because I can, I know you need the job type thing. So I think in a lot of aspects it's had a negative effect, especially on salaries and things like that. And by comparison, these same roles in Australia in the 10 years that I've lived here have skyrocketed. Yeah. It's crazy, but obviously we know, Australia, it's a knock-on effect of the mining boom. There's hyperinflation and things like that.
I wonder if that has an impact on. We've talked before about the amount of people coming over here. Like, if you were back before when everyone wasn't getting paid as well back home, why would you leave your job to come over here?
You mean
New Zealand?
that greenstone doesn't fool anyone, bro.
No, but as in, you know what?
He won that out of.
I'm trying not to swear.
He won it out of a skill tester before I got here.
Oh, Corbin Barbara. He made this. He's the original OG.
There'll be two.
Can I just tell you a quick story about Corbin? Right. So we're at the Chatty. Rest in peace. Anyone that's been here over the last sort of 15 years will know the Chatty. Yeah. It was one of the greatest bars to ever be open. It sponsored the West Warriors, but you've been there many times.
Yeah, live music.
You got some good sponsors for that team, don't you?
Yeah, we've had some pretty good sponsors.
I don't want to say much.
Yeah, I mean, not as good as they used to be, but...
Crikey.
But anyways, it was after the grand final where the West Warriors had won at... just after COVID, 2021, 22, 21. Anyways, I was only... we asked for stories, and someone just reminded me of this story. So it was Silly Sunday. We're in the Chatty. So we'd won the grand final the night before. Yeah. It'd been a big It'd been a big 24 hours. So
just once more, you had won that grand final.
We had won that grand final, yeah.
That was against Hoists, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It was Chargers.
Yeah.
Third best team in
they don't beat us
London
in
Rugby
big-
League.
they
Like,
don't
they
beat-
don't really. I mean, they don't really care.
They don't beat us in big games.
I haven't lost to them. I haven't lost to them in a big game, not since I've been there. Anyway, so Corbin, one of my best mates, he got this made for me. And anyways, I walk out, and so it was about 4 p.m. on the Sunday. So we were all a bit weathered by this point. I walk out, and there used to be, I don't know if you remember, there was a statue out the back, like a naked lady statue.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's no one in the beer garden except Corbin. And I look out through the window, and it looks like he's talking to the statue. So I walk over, and as I get closer, he's so away with the fairies. All I can hear is, and I go, what are you doing? He goes, what? Nothing. I was like, you were just talking to that statue. He goes, no, it wasn't. No. Oh, okay, my day's over. Bye.
I just saw himself out.
That's one of my greatest silly Sunday stories of all time.
Oh, yeah. And the Chatsworth was one of those places where the Aussies and Kiwis used to go. And
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That formed my relationship with the West Warriors.
Yeah.
All my best mates. It used to be like when I first moved here, it was every Sunday live music. You'd go there, be full Aussies and Kiwis. That's where I met a heap of my best friends.
I'm sure I've seen you wandering around like a zombie.
Yeah, no, not me. That must have been someone else that looked very much like me. I was always very sober. In at two, out at 4.
Very lucid.
In at 2, out at 4. Not in the morning. Anyway,
So the sobriety's been, you've been sober for 12 years?
Yeah. Something along those lines.
12 minutes.
Minutes, yeah.
So I think like, just
I think Jared's trying to get us back in.
Yeah.
I can hear. So,
Cut a long story short.
just getting back on track here. So Clint, how did the idea of starting Kiwis in London spawn? And then like off the back of that, how long did it take to kind of get traction with the expat community?
Yeah, I mean, one of the problems I always have is that I've got nothing to do. I get really disruptive. And funny that. and I was sitting at work and I was bored as hell, and I thought, let's start a Facebook page, as you do.
Yeah.
And Kiwis London was born through that.
Okay.
And I just wanted to just kind of mess about really and see what would happen. And it kind of worked. Nothing much happened. 800 people followed me after a couple months, and I was like, that'll do. And then I posted a job one day on it, just for fun. And within about 3 months, it came to about 5,000 people.
All right.
And then I put flats on and everything. I actually started Aussies in London, the actual page, and gave it to an Australian girl.
Guys.
And I gave it to an Australian girl who was a bit antisocial. So
What was
Tegan. Yeah. And I gave it to her, and then she gave it to Ben, who then gave it to Xavier.
I remember there were 2 Aussies in London pages, and I was like, is that kind of some kind of in expats in London?
That's another podcast.
Yeah, I think we'll probably leave that one for Zabe. But
that was a nightmare.
Yeah, because I remember there were 2 groups with like 40, 50,000 people in it, and then it kind of got consolidated into
It was a British company that kind of wanted to do it to make some cash off Aussies, and because the first girl Tegan wasn't so friendly to anybody, they capitalised on that. So when we got the reins off her and Zabe and big man here. Got their hands on it. It's so much better.
Big man.
Someone's got to anyway. So,
you need some glasses.
First time he's ever been called that. So mark it in your calendar.
My dad always used to call me big guy.
And I think the whole
He's
idea,
2'5".
the whole idea of Kiwis in London growing was that you just keep working on it. You know, I was spending 18 hours a day on it, just really answering every question, just doing what you could. And a lot of people kind of thought the same thing. Once I was getting more successful, others were like, let's do the same thing.
Okay.
And fair play, I was like, let's do it. You know, I don't really care if someone else is going to go up because they're not going to spend as much time on it as I do.
Yeah.
And it blew up really quickly, 20,000, 30,000, and suddenly people were paying attention to me. Yeah, I'm a short guy, so I had to compensate in some way. You know,
so like, I guess is Kiwis in London your job? Like, and at what point did it become like that's what you're going to focus on?
I had no choice. I kind of got made forcibly redundant
Okay.
From a job. I was working in a community centre, but I was a careers advisor anyway.
Right. Okay.
So for me, it was quite easy just to kind of like, once I kind of left the office voluntarily with my cardboard box, being marched out by security voluntarily.
So what happened in New Zealand caught up with you?
Yeah, my DBS, the DBS check didn't work out in the end. So
Everything's fine, by the way, guys. Everything's fine.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
yeah. So I guess being marched out of that, I kind of sat in my bedroom going, what am I going to do now? And Monday morning with a cracking hangover, I was kind of thinking, well, I don't want to go job hunting at all. And all I thought was, well, if I can make my rent money this month, let's do it.
Yeah.
And luckily enough, I did. I ran an event. I ran a few ads and stuff. And, I charge small, but I kind of overachieve on that. And so people come back to me and I paid my rent. And that was the goal. And still is the goal every month, is to pay the rent. And that's how it works, really. And it just grew. It kept growing and growing and growing. We built the second group, which I see you joined the other day.
I did, yeah. Because
I saw your explanation in the...
because I've been following Kiwis in London, but like the page, not the group. And I didn't know there was a group. And then the boys mentioned that you'd shared the potty in there, and I was like, well, I can't see it. And then I realised there was a second.
I got Aussies in London to do their group as well, because they didn't have a group either. So I got them to do that, and it was quite good to kind of get more people focused on that.
Yeah.
So now we're growing quite quickly.
Something I've always respected about you too is like you could have easily sat there and not done the Aussies in London. You could have easily not wanted that. I mean, it's never perceived as competition, but
No.
especially in its infancy, you could have easily perceived it as that way. But it's sort of testament, I guess, to how much the community means to you and is ingrained, means to you in that sense.
It's important that everyone gets as much information, because you're a two-man operation now, and I'm just a one-man, so I can't do everything. So I always say to people, if you want to get more information, talk to you guys as well, and so you kind of got a big, wide scale of info. You can never have too much information.
No, I agreed. Yeah.
Well, I was only thinking that today, actually, because I was seeing you posting their stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought in myself that's your competition.
No,
that would be your competition.
No, I've never seen this Aussie.
No, I know, but I think a lot of people from the outside would think that, right?
Yeah.
So that's a real.
There's always been synergy and stuff, even before you boys rocked up today. Like me and Clint were talking about the Christmas party, and Anzac Day, and it was always there's just some synergy between the two of them. And it really is like an amazing community, and there's so much crossover between them. Like there's so many Aussies in Kiwis in London and vice versa. And when you go down to the monthly drinks, and I'm always sitting there saying to people that I meet, I'm going go to the monthly drinks because they're so cemented as such a foundation for meeting people. So credit to you, mate.
But I think most friendship circles are a solid mix of Kiwis and Aussies anyway, right? Like a lot of our, that's how it is with our mates. Like,
I just say we're all in it together.
Yeah,
100%.
On the trenches.
You really do become one here. I think, especially recently. I think when I first moved here, Kiwis probably hung out more with Kiwis, and Aussies hung out more with Aussies.
That's one of the things I always said about COVID, is that people were sort of forced to meet each other. I mean, obviously,
covertly.
There was a lot of clandestine meetings going on, but obviously, no one ever met, and no one was ever within 2 meters of each other. But during COVID, we're having house parties and stuff and doing all that. And there were so many groups that met each other through that. And Kiwis, Aussies, even the two rugby league teams were constantly meeting each other. So that was an interesting time.
COVID was interesting. That's how I met Jimmy Mack at a Christmas party. It was iconic. It was doing very well until Omicron turned up, which scared the living everyone. Yeah. And I had no DJ. I had no event. No entertainment for the Christmas party because my two hosts were like, "Oh, we're traveling, bro. We don't want to go to your party and get COVID." So Jimmy Mack turns up out of the shadows, and he was just a superhero. He downloaded all the Kiwi songs, went mad for it, and
Take notes.
Was
it was
that
absolute...
like split ends and crowded house?
It was Ed Sheeran. It was
as long as one Grease Mega Mix.
It was a mix up. All I want for Christmas is WAP. No, but he was just coming up, and he was a sweetheart, I must say. First time and the last time you're going to hear that from me, and he saved the day, and the crowd loved it, and we out of 800 people who bought tickets, 200 turned up, and I think everyone won a prize. prize.
Everyone won a prize. And everyone was highly intoxicated.
And the venue said to me, "Wow, we were kind of worried that you were going to screw it up, but 200 people drank more than 500 that night." I'm like,
Yeah.
It wasn't just me. And
I
Jimmy.
remember, because that's right. Dan was there as Santa. And
Yeah.
I was dressed as a reindeer. Comfy costume. Don't know where it is now. but-
Is that Sansa the?
No, Santa.
Well, here's a plug
We'll
there.
put that down in the language
No,
bag.
but Sansa have followed us and reached out to us, so there you go.
Yeah, they have.
They have. So hopefully,
Yeah,
if they're
so
listening.
I say, Jimmy Mack saved the day, and that was one thing that kind of cemented the relationship,
Yeah,
a fine relationship.
it's been
Very
fantastic.
good.
yeah.
So I guess another question, just in terms of the setup of Kiwis in London, how did you start, I guess, approaching businesses? Like what's the, I guess, strategy behind that? How do you get them on board? And then
You'll laugh. I've never done a single approach.
really,
No, never.
Wow.
I've
so
never,
you've never had to pitch to a business
Never.
and say you want to jump on.
never.
Really,
Not once,
they
no.
approach you.
Mhm.
Oh, that's all. Well, that
Every
makes
bar,
life easy, doesn't it?
every company, no one's ever had to be pitched to anything. I've just
Wow.
sat there and emails turn up
awesome.
because it's word of mouth, and
Yeah.
it's like that. And companies will talk to other companies, or how'd you get all these Kiwis and Aussies and stuff? And it's interesting because you cannot advertise anywhere. I'm looking for a Kiwi or Australian because it breaks all sorts of employment laws. But if you publish on a Kiwis in London Facebook page and just say we're looking for someone, you're going to get 90% Kiwis and Aussies, so
yeah.
it gets around that law. So people talk. Recruitment companies tell all their prospects, hey, join these pages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's how we grow. We've grown. I've never had to pitch, not once.
Wow.
I've actually, Clint's actually helped me out before with my holiday camps.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I've been
Kids Explore.
Yeah, Kids Explore. Been looking for people, and I don't know why you're laughing,
say
Mooch. I mean,
Don't say it.
Okay, for the record, Mooch wasn't. Sorry, Clint wasn't helping out on the camps.
This is really going to
Clint-
bite me in the ass.
Clint, can I just get
I
one
thought
thing?
you guys had met before.
Can I just get one thing very straight? Clint just found some employees who I then checked, and I've got someone else to double check. And yeah,
How come the company doesn't run anymore?
believe me, it runs. It runs well.
Well done on that. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I've
but
never
no,
had-
but I, look, the one thing I would say is Clint, like I think I reached out and just basically said, look, I might need someone next week.
Yeah.
And Clint just sort of sent something out. Didn't ever ask for money. Didn't ever just knew that it was a small business, and that was one thing I really appreciated at the start when I was trying to get it off the ground. And
That's one thing we try and do. And money's not everything.
No,
Everyone
no.
says that, but it really isn't. And if you can help small businesses out when they grow up, they might help you. They might not.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's just networking, isn't it? You don't know what the next person's going to bring to the table, and it might not necessarily be money, but I guess that's essentially why you're sitting here right now on the podcast because.
Around the table with you,
yeah,
three
exactly.
gentlemen.
It's just amazing, how you can meet different people and different opportunities arise. So sometimes you just got to tackle it, don't you?
Something I really want to know is, what are some of the main barriers that you faced? Because, like you said, the businesses came to you, and organically the people would start to come. And even on the social medias, we're still seeing someone articulated so well to me the other day, and they go, I'm like, why do you really want this market? They're like, well, for starters, if it's a pub, they're like, they drink so much, and they're always 99% of the time great company.
Mm-hmm.
But what businesses really understand is you've got a constant influx the entire time. 10 years time, there's going to be Aussies and Kiwis coming over here. So they've create these partnerships, amazing relationships, and you've constantly got that. But what are some of the main barriers that you faced when setting this community up?
It was just lack of people not knowing who I was to start with, and that was overcome pretty quickly. I think it just grew really quickly, and I think it was me having to kind of keep up to that and maintain, because I'm a bit feral, if you weren't surprised. So I had to kind of calm myself down, smoothen the sides a little bit, and kind of be a bit more family friendly.
A bit more
online.
polish.
Bit more polished. Yeah.
when's that bloke going to turn up?
Is he in the room with us now? So, and for me, it was kind of playing the language along, and I've stuck to the same language ever since, really, kind of just to stay kind of like that. And I think that was the only challenge, really, was that, and mainly and staying motivated. And working through the hangovers and networking in the beginning, kind of going out to all the events and stuff like that, and having to deal with the hangovers the next day. That were the challenges, but I've never found it too difficult. Now the biggest challenges now is Facebook's been a challenge sometimes. It's not as popular with
Well,
young people
it's
as
because
well.
it's because of the algorithm. Like
Yeah.
you look at your feed these days, and it's just all stuff that it's not people you're friends
Mm.
with. It's advertisements, random groups. Like I think that's why there's been a shift to Instagram, because for the most part you're going to see pictures of your friends, which is what Facebook used to be. But it's very, very different now.
Yeah, I mean, even then, like as they come through, I mean, who here remembers MySpace?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Tom was my first
Tom
friend.
was my first friend.
Yeah.
In life, funnily enough.
Do you not think one of the most cutthroat things that ever happened in your life, if you didn't make that top 6
Yeah.
best friend,
Top friend list. Yeah.
top friend
top
list
6.
in MySpace?
Brutal.
Top list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The other ones. Jimmy's like, what? I wasn't
Jimmy's
doing any of
always-
those.
I'd never see myself in one
It was
of
number
those top
7.
lists.
Number 7.
You had to have all the different widgets for your photos.
Yeah, and
your
it could be
friend list.
moving in the background.
And the music
Ah.
in the background too. So, what music you gonna play?
You know what was cool
Nirvana.
though? Like years later, like obviously I hadn't been on MySpace for ages.
Cool was a very loose term, I think, when it comes to MySpace, though. No,
I didn't say cool.
what was a
No,
very cool
I said. Well, what was cool was years later I hadn't used it for ages,
Oh, and
and
looking
then
at-
and then they said, oh, we're basically closing it down, and it kind of reminded me. So I went back and I found all these photos on there that I hadn't seen in like 10 years, and just downloaded and put on
nostalgic,
Facebook.
yeah.
Yeah, it was very nostalgic. Yeah.
But that's the thing. Just bringing it back, that you know, the like when I was teaching, when I was teaching, every single kid in that classroom, they don't use Facebook. Lots
No.
of them actually don't even use Instagram. They all use TikTok. And Snapchat to still somehow survive the fires of Mount Doom or whatever.
Snapchat had a lot of opportunity there, but
Yeah. It was just.
I mean, yeah,
didn't do what I wanted it to do. But
Yeah.
Maybe I'm showing my age, but I've just never really understood Snapchat.
No,
Never really.
I know. I never really used it.
it had a really good potential, but
Yeah,
I never
yeah,
got
yeah.
what I wanted from it ever.
Yeah.
Damn it.
okay,
But the challenge
reel it
is-
back in before he.
The challenge now is TikTok is the be all and end all, and
Yeah.
I'm playing a private game of catch up with you guys on that now. So
No, I mean even then, like we're still in our infancy. Like I mean, I don't even really understand it myself.
Well, we've left the TikTok account to Jimmy as being like.
Yeah.
Are you Gen Z?
No, what am I? I'm 95.
you're playing millennial, aren't you?
Okay, so you just sneak in.
Just yeah, I'm on the fence. There. Depends what party I'm at. But yeah, so I'll create that. But it's weird that you're right with the algorithms. It's just like all this stuff is just so foreign to me, and even the days that you post, the consistency, and what it is, it's just that you see the people who've got millions of followers. They'll be posting stuff today that they made 3 or 4 years back,
Yeah.
but because they weren't popular, they'll repost it now. and get
Okay, yeah.
millions and millions of views, and so some people just have a knack and have a canny for it. But like you said, I mean, it's just so foreign, I guess.
I've got a TikToker myself now, and it was quite a search. And I found the perfect person, and she was 26, and she said, I'm too old for it. And I'm like, Christ. So we ended up getting some 18-year-old, and she's like a genius. She's like smashing, going viral. It's amazing. So I'm really impressed. I'm really happy with it.
I see Mooch, our producer, and when he puts on Big Belly, I'm going, how the hell does he do these transitions? I'm like, what's going on? He's a natural. He's a natural.
Someone has to.
Behind the cameras, I'll tell you. In front and behind the cameras, he's just unbelievable.
So I'm going to give you another kind of, I guess, 2-part question. So, I guess what are the things that you would recommend, or some of the recommendations you make to someone who's planning to move over from Australia, New Zealand, and also like what are some of the things that you see on Kiwis in London quite regularly, like things we see a lot of in Aussies in London, a lot of people going, oh, I've been here for a few months, things aren't going well, like it's all doom and gloom. I kind of told my story in the first episode where, for me it was 5 months before things really turned around. So what are the things you'd recommend to someone coming over? What's the kind of time limit you'd put on kind of or for someone to give to make it in London, I guess?
I guess the best thing to do is to lock in first with the Kiwis in London or the Aussies in London page.
Yeah.
Lock into the community, get that vibe of the community, kind of see what's going on, get a realistic expectations that you know what's going on, and then from there connect with potential recruiters. Get an expectation of what the weather's going to be like, for instance, what the environment is. Because I arrived in October. Actually, it's almost like 20-something years now.
Right.
So, and I didn't know that there was early sunsets and it was cold. And I was in Battersea, and all I saw was single mothers and And
Not sure what that's got to do with.
but it was just and dark grey houses, and it was like that's all I saw for the first 2 weeks. And I'm like, this is like suppressing.
Yeah.
It was depressing as anything. And
I think it's almost.
there is a connection, I promise. There is.
I think it's almost a good thing to come over at that time of year because then you're kind of looking forward to the summer. I think a lot of people fall into the trap. Like I think you said, Baz, like people do sail Croatia, sail Turkey, have the summer of their lives, and then all of a sudden they're plunged into darkness.
3 p.m. sunsets, and you're like, what do I do? So I guess in a way, just plug into the community, kind of get a feel of what it's all about, and then decide when you want to come over.
I actually think that's the most important thing. Is just get yourself involved. We've talked about this before.
You said sports teams.
Yeah, getting yourself into the community. Now, if that's sports teams, run clubs, I don't know, debating teams, whatever it is, you've got to come here and find something that you can get involved in because you are. I mean, we won't talk about the actual post, but Jared, you saw a post. I think it was on Kiwis in London, and someone was saying they were really struggling after a couple of months, and Jared just said, "Look, I can't speak exactly on what you're going through, but we've started a podcast. We might be able to help you out." And I think that is generally what the basis of
like
what
just
this is.
like the other,
we'll have fun with it and we'll joke around. But in the end, we hope that it can be something serious that provides people with some help.
We did
if they need
we
it.
did some posts on Kiwis London for the last few years. I kind of do them around this time of year anyway. So hey, reach out. Don't be afraid to talk about
it's
that.
It's just letting people know that other people are going through the same struggles. Like as we said, like it's never going to be easy packing everything up and moving to the other.
And
side.
I think as
It
well,
never
like
is,
we've all got mates here. Like we join a footy club. We've all got mates. Like it's easy when you've got mates, but there's people that come here and they don't probably know many people.
Yeah.
Then they don't join a big sporting club or a big club or something.
Yeah.
That's when it's difficult. So
Well, that's something we talked about, and I'd love your opinion on this, Clint. One of the first things we talked about in the first episode was how long it takes to set up a community and set up a base within London. Like, and we see people who get 3 months, 6 months, they kick the bucket, they say, "Nah, see you later." But what do you think? What do you think the average time is for people to set up a community and set themselves up in London?
You know, you want to give it a good crack because it's a one-time lifetime visa, yeah. And I always tell people that, but you know, you can't really measure it so much. Some people, I would say a year. In my personal opinion, a year, because by that stage you would have reached out to at least on the community. If you haven't still made a connection after a year and you've had all those resources and all those people saying yay or hey whatever to you, and you're still not actually winning, then maybe a year. And you haven't got there, maybe it's time to go home.
Yeah.
You know, it's true. Yeah. But you never know. The next day you might meet someone. You know, I had a girl who wanted to give up everything after 6 months, and she broke up with her boyfriend. Everything went terrible. She messaged me and said, I want to stay. And she stayed for a few more months. She met her husband, who's a Brit, and they got married and all that stuff. And she's living her best life. And she's like so grateful that she stuck it out a bit longer, you know. So it was just insane. And there's so many stories of people like that who did stick it out, who thought, you know, bugger it, I'm just going to stick around and see and stay away from me and go on my events. And it was great. Safe advice, children. Safe advice.
not children.
I'm never gonna live this down, I think. But yeah, so that was
People
it.
in general.
So in a way, it's just, you know, you've got to keep talking and keep communicating. A lot of people are shy, but I've allowed anonymous comments to my detriment on the page so that people can ask these things and really reach out because people are scared.
Well, it's even like myself and David talked about just how prominent your presence is on that page. You know, and people, yeah, exactly. And people just, you know, people who I meet at the pub or at events and they're just like, oh yeah, I heard about because this Clint guy posted. I'm like, yeah, well, Kiwis in London, Clint, and people know about you, and then just, I don't know, it's sort of like you're just such a foundation for that page, you know, and people know you. Like,
I think not just the page.
Well,
our community, right? You are a foundation.
So he's definitely on the Mount Rushmore. Then.
Well, what was the?
Well, it must go. You.
What was the award I got?
Oh yes.
Thought we were going to get away with that today, but
This is
the
your
UK
5 minutes.
New Zealander of the year, actually. Yeah, this is
There you go.
this year. So
there we go.
yeah, that was a nice one. But I remember I was at an event earlier this year, and some girl came up to me and goes, "I know you. You're the biggest commenter on the Kiwis in London page." And I'm like, I hope that guy who runs it knows all about you. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, thanks.
little did she know it was all self-promotion.
But
Shameless.
I mean, I know we like to joke, but that's a huge achievement.
Yeah.
That hasn't just come overnight, and that's taken obviously since 2003 to achieve that. And I saw some stuff online. You must be really proud
I have
of
always
what
kind
you've
of felt-
achieved in general. Like you've
Yeah.
paved the way for our little friend here to have his own little business.
Big man.
You have paved the way for a lot of us to be able to come over and enjoy the experience that maybe it wasn't as easy before you set up this community.
I mean, I found it super hard when I came over here. So for me to kind of build something that made people's lives easier is a privilege. And Kiwis London grew so quickly. I find that community is so big. If I help people with those numbers, it's such a good thing. And winning that prize was insane because I've always kind of felt an outsider in all kinds of things. Always kind of looking in, even now. So I mean, getting that award and
Well, you found your calling, mate.
Yeah, you found your home, bro.
No,
I
it's
mean,
incredible.
I've been running events for years before Facebook and all that stuff, and social media's made us even less social, which is funny actually. And I was running events for years, mostly just getting drunk, but still, people like booze, don't they? So,
Not us,
Yeah,
but most
yeah,
people.
yeah.
bro, you're still 12 years sober. bro.
yeah.
We kind of touched on people kind of struggling and thinking about going home after 3 months, 6 months. What do you think is the draw for Aussies and Kiwis to come over to London in the first place?
It's a different planet. Planet London, no. I mean, oh my God, it's just the culture. You might think you speak the same language, but it's a different it's a different language in London. The opportunities are insane. You can reinvent yourself. You could be something completely different in New Zealand and then come over to London and reinvent yourself to someone a bit more respectable. Kind of what I almost did.
I think I've seen it in reverse. I think, I've seen people come over here and been absolute animals, and I've given them absolutely no chance to, back when they go home, and then they've actually, completely shocked me and turned out to be super successful. So I think for a lot of people to come over and they're like, right, I've got 2 or 3 years, I'm just gonna absolutely send it, and then I'm gonna go back to living my normal life when I go back to Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, and you have the opportunities. You can't travel like that you can back home.
No,
It's just insane, and traveling is like my thing. I love traveling, and a lot of people back home, they don't experience that, and you can tell when you go home.
Oh yeah,
how different people are when they don't do any travel.
Yeah.
It's insane, and I knew that mostly during COVID. How I want to say small-minded, but a lot of people just didn't really have much kind of enjoyment watching us enjoying ourselves in a different country, and that was the thing. Come over here and open your mind a little bit, meet people you'll never meet, and do things you'll never ever do back home. And it's just awesome. The whole world comes to London, and people forget that, and it's an amazing city.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
So I think we're kind of running out of time. We're getting to the back end of it. One thing I wanted to kind of ask is what events have you got coming up? Is there anything that you want to talk to in terms of Kiwis and London events?
Oh mate,
well, I know the Christmas party's coming up. We're seeing that.
Time to shill the Christmas party.
Yeah.
Every year we run a Christmas party. Last year we sold 1,600 tickets. It's just a big night out.
Okay.
We really get it.
And where's that this year?
Inferno's this year.
Inferno's,
We've got
right,
a few nice DJs and Jimmy Mac to come along.
I also heard that we might be down there doing some interviews.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have to come down and
we might have a couple less beers this time.
Yeah, for work purposes, obviously.
Obviously, we'll have a big night out with 2 floors, live music. I give out about 10K worth of prizes on the night.
Awesome.
A few shoeys, drunk Santa. It's not me.
Well, there you have it, expats. The Kiwis in London Christmas party. I did see the invite that the post, and you said Aussies welcome as well. So
always welcome.
Yep.
I think sometimes almost 60% of the people who come are Australian.
I'm actually amazed that you remember most of those nights, Clint, because when I see you definitely push the boat out.
On Christmas party, on my best behaviour, actually. It's the other parties I'm not so
it's
good.
the monthly drinks that I swear, the last one I saw you.
Oh, my God. I still got that message. I read it out to one of my clients today, what I said to one of your mates. It was outrageous.
Oh, yeah. We'll
said to that, but
it's been a nice podcast.
if I haven't,
Can't get it out. I thought, nah,
haven't cancelled myself already, then it was nice knowing you, fellas.
the rise and fall of Clint Heine.
This podcast be front and centre. Oh, my God.
Kiwis in London shut down.
Kiwis in London chat number 2, The Reckoning. Well, yeah, awesome. Well, listen, mate, an absolute pleasure, and thank you so much for coming on this podcast. Just like we said, you've done so much for the expat community, and there's so many people like Barry said, paved the way for so many. to do it. So I just want to say a massive thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming, mate.
Bring me back one day, mate, when I'm a bit more respectable. We can reshoot some of the rest
We'll
of
go
it.
down to the Supermax and we'll
Was it Wandsworth HMP?
I'm pretty good at trolleys, it's fine.
So, yeah, once again, mate, thank you. As usual, guys, check out our socials. You can. There's a link tree on our Instagram that will lead you to Spotify, YouTube. We've also added a feature this week where you can leave a 90-second voice message with a funny story or a bit of advice. So the plan is that we will either play them or read them out on future shows. So get in there. There's been a few already, some questionable ones. But we're
Sorry about that.
We're gonna have to vet them, but obviously if we think they're suitable for the show, they'll definitely get on. So that's it, boys. Anything else to add before we?
I just want to say huge thanks to Clint. I've known you for a long time. All my cousins knew you. They know who you are. All my Kiwi friends know who you are. You've been a huge part of our community.
What about your Lismoron friends? Do they know?
They probably know. That's the crazy thing. All my Lismoron friends that have come here, the whole other two, they probably do know who he is. And I think that's one impact you have had on the community is anyone that's been here in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I know Aussies in London now is doing really well, but you rewind maybe just before COVID and those 8 years before or 10 years before, you were the main man and you're the ones that got us. I saw the West Warriors advertisement on Kiwis in London, and that's how I met all my best mates over here. So I think
nothing better. They got my sponsorship. Now I've moved to the back of the trousers.
Yeah.
I think I am.
now you're front and center. See,
Way.
now I'm retired. It's fine. No more bad performances. There we go. I think a huge thank you. I mean, thanks so much for coming on the podcast as well.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it, mate.
Hasn't done me any
And we
favors,
hope
but
we'll see how that goes. We'll cut that out. Hopefully,
all of that is staying in. 100%.
very hard to fly under the radar anymore.
I'll get the editing skills out, Baz. Don't worry, mate. Don't stress too much. Baz has a lot of sleepless nights about this stuff, so we're going to look after the big fella. Don't want him to have any kind of episode.
After every episode, I'll basically send an A4 piece of paper. Can't have this.
You guys all look like sweethearts. It's fine.
All right, well, that's all we've got time for, guys. Make sure you're tuning in for the next episode. We're really enjoying this, so thank you for the support. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Cheers.
Yeah.
Thank you.